Hello, my name is Matthew O'Neill,
Mic
and this
off.
is my reflection video for national government. This class has taught me that today's political culture is not that different than segregation times political culture. Whether it be censorship via the government or police brutality, the government has always had its way of censoring people and preventing people from voting that they don't want to vote. This has helped me realize when the government or corporations are trying to silence voters or public opinion. Before this class, my view on politics was that it should be shared everywhere you go, and I have learned through this class and through how social media has been recently that it's oftentimes best to be quiet until spoken to. The 5 course topics and accompanying assignments that stood out to me most were critical analysis for political cartoon. I was able to openly criticize the Israel-Gaza relationship. When the levees broke, I was able to delve into U.S. government distrust and possible intentional hurting of the U.S. people in Louisiana. Critical analysis 3, student's choice, I was able to delve into the White House's TikTok page and take stances from both sides of the parties, figuring out why and what they were posting. Student op-ed blog 5 was the one where we tracked our data usage on our phone and were able to make insights into our personal lives about that type of data. And the proposition paper, mine was on if felons should be able to vote after they were released from prison. I believe that was very insightful to figure out and see how the U.S. government still limits people from being able to vote and share their voice. The concept that stands out to me most was when the levees broke assignment, because I'm a very big government conspiracy theorist person, and it just added to the fuel about government misuse and mistrust of the U.S. people. My change in thinking of this semester happened partly in class, but happened primarily on the news. Before this semester, I believed that free speech was a basic given right via the Constitution, but around the world, we have seen people being limited in their speech by their governments, especially in the United Kingdom and Canada, and I am afraid that it is starting to happen in America, with cases in Texas about free speech out against Israel. Another change in thinking that I've had during the semester was with our discussion board posts, talking to other students and seeing where they're coming from and why they think a certain thing, like if there should be gun control or if freedom of speech is a right that should be able to be exercised however they want, or if there should be limitations. I think that it's important, especially in today's age, that you engage with people that are your peers and take time to actually understand why they think something instead of just blatantly telling them that they're wrong and your opinion's better. There's a little bit too much of that going on in the media today. The unseen impacts for me this semester was I realized that oftentimes it's best to be quiet about how I view or believe in politics, because regardless of what you say in today's climate, someone on either side is often going to be angry with you, and it's just not worth the trouble. My 3 key takeaways from this class are: if you think the government is starting to violate your rights, speak up. It is very hard to be silenced nowadays, especially on social media. I got better at drafting essays and long format papers because of this class with the constant writing flow that we had to do. And I developed a new position on how I feel about the government and how I don't want them to censor me any longer. With how volatile America is today, I believe it's very important that everyone shares their voice and gets their opinion across in the most well-worded way possible. There's too much emotion going on in America today. People are often acting out based on how they feel and not based off what is actually happening in front of them. They're letting media or celebrities tell them what they think is right or wrong, but oftentimes those people, media and celebrities, are funded by companies, organizations to, show their opinion or prove their propaganda. So it's a very sketchy situation now. With response to Project 2025, I don't think there's much of a chance that any U.S. citizen loses any type of privilege or anything like that. This is primarily targeted towards aliens, criminals, and people who shouldn't have their rights in front of them anyways. I believe that in order to make America prosperous and to serve its people, it has to put its people first. And that means that people that don't put America first shouldn't be here and shouldn't be incorporated into our society. My major is drafting and design. After that, it will be 3D engineering. I don't believe that politics directly affect my field of study. Obviously, with manufacturing and distribution, whether it's inside or out the country, there will be some stipulations, whether it be tariffs or cancel sales to countries like China. But for the most part, my industry is based out of my house. I work from home. I will always work from home because I'm always going to be self-employed. And I believe that as long as you don't poke around too much, the government isn't gonna come after me for what I do or what I say. The first policy that is going to affect my field of study is tax and regulatory reforms via Tax Cut and Jobs Act. Basically, it's a construction firm-based taxation which lowers the tax rate that construction firms have to pay. And the second one is the Deportation Act. It deported a lot of illegal workers out of the country, which in turn opens up the American job market for American workers to bring American money home to their American families. I'm proud of how I did this semester. I am usually a procrastinator, which I did procrastinate a little bit, but I got almost all of my projects and assignments due on the due date or before the due date, which I'm proud of. I need to get better at using my calendar. I have one at my desk. I only fill out my job site and estimate parts of it. I don't use it for school, even though I should. It's right there. But that's what I feel like I could have done better this semester and what I did do well this semester. One thing I enjoyed about this class was the group project. I ended up doing most of the group project by myself, but I believe the premise of the group project was pretty good. Get students together and dissect the problems of the nation and figure out if they can work on a solution or figure something out that the United States should focus on in order to better the country, either politically here or globally with other things like that. But this class has helped me with planning, and that's something that I can take into the future and help myself with other projects and other types of jobs. This is Callie. This is Daisy. Say hi. This is Cheese. He's my only boy. This is Nutmeg, and this was my reflection video. Thank you. Why do you look so angry?